LED started going, and I said, did I remember to get this? Did I remember to close this? Did I remember to lock that window? So I decided this morning about 7 o'clock to drive back onto the island. I figured they wouldn't even let me on. There wasn't a car on the road. There wasn't a cop in sight.
Wow.
I drove all the way back to my house, and I spent like the last 4 hours, doing all the stuff I forgot to do.
What are you expecting there, brother?
Well, we're not expecting it to be as bad as what you're hearing is going to happen in the Tampa area. I mean, first of all, we are south of wherever the storm lands. We're going to be south of it by maybe 100, 150 miles.
Oh.
The farther for us, the better. We're going to still get storm surge. We can't get away from that. We're going to get some wind, but it's not going to be that hurricane force wind. We're going to be up in the, maybe the 50s and 60s on gusts, which they eat for breakfast around here. That's nothing. It's that storm surge we're worrying about.
So you're a little optimistic, right?
No, I don't want to be pessimistic.
No, I love it. Hold on. I want to grab Ed.
All right.
Ed.
How are you, Marty?
Where are you at, Ed? Tell us.
I am on Fort Myers Beach, right on the water at Margaritaville Resort.
Hey, Ed. How you doing, my friend?
Is that Stephen Clark?
It is.
It is indeed.
Just another day in paradise for us.
Is that what this is, Ed? How do you view this, man? Are you expecting the apocalypse they're talking about?
Apocalypse? No. We're expecting storm surge. If you're watching the forecast, we're kind of getting the back tail of this, and they're tracking tornadoes now, and we're waiting for the storm surge. They said the first wave of storm surge is going to be 3 o'clock Eastern, then 7 o'clock, and then really the main event around midnight. And, we just went through Ian, as I'm sure Stephen told you about, 2 years ago. So there's a lot of empty space, and there's a lot of places where there used to be buildings to block the storm surge or the sand coming over that are no longer there. So when the fire chief told me one time that the Gulf of Mexico is going to connect to the Back Bay, I kind of chuckled at him, and then Ian came along, and it became a reality.
Wow. Hey, is this what the governor says? Will this be the storm of the century when it hits Tampa?
I think for Sarasota, it will be, for the Sarasota area. But for us, I think it will not be as bad as Ian. We just had a storm 2 weeks ago that we had 4-foot storm surge, and the people down here have gotten so used to how to clean up after something like that. A day or two later, the businesses were back open. But this will be worse than that. I think you would agree, Stephen. It's going to be worse than that, but not as bad as Ian.
Yes, exactly where I'm putting myself. And I'm glad to see that you're reflecting that optimism, because I think, people sit at home wherever they are in Pittsburgh or Denver or wherever they sit, and they watch the Weather Channel, and they start thinking there is a hurricane that is hitting Florida. They think it's all of Florida, one hurricane. Right. It's not. It's a small little dot in Florida, but it'll affect a lot of people at different degrees.
Hey, Ed, are you sleeping on the beach, brother?
I am. I am in probably the safest structure on Fort Myers Beach right now because it was built 1 year ago. Florida's got strict building codes. 35 feet in the air, 200. Probably the glass can handle 200-mile-an-hour winds. I'm in a safe spot. I'm not dumb enough to go out when the storm hits, but I do want to be able to be here to go out and take a look at the damage afterward, which is always heartbreaking, Marty, because this island is under construction right now. Wow. There are houses being rebuilt, there are businesses being rebuilt, and there's construction materials everywhere that are about to become projectiles from this violent storm surge that we're about to get later on tonight.
Well, plus they had all those piles of sand that they pushed up into huge mountains after 2 weeks ago. All that's going to be back on the roads again, back in the bars again.
Wow. Well, and let me ask you, because we're talking about water is one issue, and then wind is the other, and you mentioned, obviously, hurricane force, tornadoes potentially. Very few homes in Florida have basements. Where do you go? What do you do to stay safe?
Nice.
It goes to Margaritaville and stays in the bridal suite.
Yeah. This island, this town council here was the first to call for an evacuation at an emergency meeting on Sunday. This town is a ghost town. After Ian, I don't think people are going to take a chance. They got off the island early, and the sheriff's department has been riding up and down Estero Boulevard, our main roadway here, for hours. I probably have seen, Stephen, 10 cars up in your neighborhood and all the way down here by Times Square. So.
I saw nobody. I left the island about an hour ago, and there was nobody. But there were a couple deputies sitting on the far side of the bridge. Yep. I think they were telling people not to come on, but they were not stopping me to get off.
All right, guys, I'm going to call you tomorrow. Thank you. Be careful.
Yeah, be safe.
No problem. Thanks.
All right, boys. Fantastic stuff, man. So grateful. And I got to thank my boy Billy Sawyer, because Billy Sawyer has been amazing throughout this, and he's hooking us up with all these people. Right back with Christine's father in 5 minutes. So when I went to physical,